Well, it is Wednesday, which means we continue with our weekly land report segment with American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers. Our good friend Howard Halderman joins us now for some insight on the growing opportunities for landowners when it comes to wind and solar projects. Howard, I feel like this is really kind of taking off. I feel like this is just about to ramp up. What currently is the demand for wind and solar in the farmland space?
Great question, Suzanne. The demand, I would rate, is strong. We continue to see a lot of developers having interest in developing wind and solar projects if they can get them permitted. And when you think about the fossil fuel plants being closed in many states, coal-fired, natural gas-fired plants, along at the same time with electric vehicles and demand coming from data centers, I think we've got to figure out a solution to try to increase the electrical production. And wind and solar are a couple of things that can help with that.
Well, we talk about the opportunities for landowners. What should they be looking for?
Landowners should be looking for, first of all, the best opportunities, the income. And typically the income can be 4 times what they might earn off an acre of cropland. In addition, there's a lot of complexity to the lease option agreement they may be presented. And they need to be very careful and review that with an attorney because they want to have certain protections in there that their land is protected even after the lease expires. So there's a lot of risks you need to weigh out, but the opportunity for the additional income and diversifying your income stream away from commodities are the 2 major advantages for landowners.
You know, when solar and wind developers come knocking on doors, what's the main pushback that they get?
Well, the first is we're taking prime farmland out of production. And so a lot of folks are not interested in seeing prime farmland disappear. There's also a little concern over the environmental risks that might exist with solar or wind. And then you get the not in my backyard. I don't like the look of wind turbines. It changes the landscape. Or I'm concerned about how the solar fence or the solar panels, the glare, those sorts of things. So those are some of the things, the pushback that we see in the marketplace today. But I think it's a key part of our infrastructure going forward and how we service the electrical demands of this country in the future.
I was going to ask you about that, Howard. Do you see this really kind of becoming the norm eventually and people being open to it a little bit more?
I think people over time will become open to it, especially when there starts to become some pressure, maybe brownouts that exist in states that we never saw them before, because power plants are going off the grid and demand is ever increasing. And then there will be, well, how do we solve for that? And wind and solar can be part of that solution.
Always great stuff, Howard. Thank you so much. Great to see you as always. Howard Halderman with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers.